Good evening, folks. Welcome to Two Lamps Last Hour News.
If you're new here, welcome to the channel. We have some video clips we'd like to share with y'all. We feel like it's very important. Y'all take a look at it and y'all share it out. Let's get into it.
Hello everybody, this is Paul from Off-Grid Desert Farming News with Paul and Adrian. This is May the 23rd, 2025. I want to welcome you to our broadcast today. I hope you are doing good. Sorry we did not do a broadcast yesterday. I have to do the broadcast when I actually feel like it. We'll try to get through this one today and give you the breaking news, but it does not look good, folks. If you look at our thumbnail that we put on this video, our predictions are coming true, and unfortunately, they're going to get worse. And, there's nothing we can do about it because this is a snowball going down a mountain fixing to turn into an avalanche, and this will destroy our economy. And all of these people telling me and other people, trust the plan, this is the plan. Well, the plan is total destruction. So we're going to cover the facts. That's all we do on our channel is we cover facts. We don't give hyperbole. We don't make assumptions out of thin air. We don't do fake news. We only discuss facts with receipts and source information. So the information, unfortunately, is coming true. I never, ever claimed to be a prophet on this channel. I'm not a prophet. But God does give me wisdom to figure out what is about to happen. And we made many, many predictions months ago about our economy, about the state of the union, about what is going to happen, and now they are coming true. And unfortunately, they are coming true quicker than anybody thought. So we're going to discuss the first thing that we did a video a couple of weeks ago. We told you this sequence of events. The sequence of events that are going to transpire and lead us down to this dark road that most of the MAGA people, Mike Johnson, Moses Mike, Donald Trump, all of the administration is cheering, is going to destroy our economy, and it's happening now. So there won't be any conjecture, there won't be any arguing in about a couple months. By the end of June, going into July, August is probably when you're going to see things start unraveling financially, economically. And we are seeing that now. So the number one thing we told you about a month ago, we said that there's going to be mass layoffs of the truckers. The 18-wheeler drivers and the trucking companies that transport goods from the ports of America throughout every city and state. All right, I got to cut off this other guy. But we told you the sequence of events, and that's exactly what is happening. Most of the ports at Long Beach or on the West Coast, at least half or more of their cargo and freight is from China. And there really has not been a trade agreement that has been reached with China. Donald Trump put a 90-day pause on the Chinese imports, but he's still charging 10%. But the 2 or 3 months before that, the 80%, the 125%, the 145% tariffs were in effect. And millions of companies in America quit ordering supplies from China because they did not want to have to pass on those tariffs to their consumers. And for the life of me, I do not understand why the MAGA crowd does not understand what a tariff is. A tariff is a tax on you. That's what it is. The tariff is a tax on you because these companies like Walmart and Target, Home Depot, Lowe's, the dollar stores, they cannot stay in business unless they pass the price increase to you, the consumer. I don't know how much more simple I have to make it. I mean, I'm trying to speak in a term that kindergarten kids should be able to understand, but some people still can't get the concept of a tariff. The companies have to pay the extra price when they order a product. Let's say they order $1 million worth of products from China. At 145% tariffs, it's going to cost that company $2 million, almost $1.5 million more for the same product. You understand how this works? So let's say Walmart orders $1 million worth of products from China. Under Donald Trump's tariffs, that same $1 million worth of products is going to cost Walmart $2.5 million. Do you think that Walmart can stay in business if they have to pay double, almost triple for that same product? You think they are able to eat the cost and stay in business? No. So what is Walmart and Target and Home Depot and all these stores doing? They're passing that 145% tariff onto you with a price increase at your stores. That's what they're doing. So they're covering the initial cost when they order the products. They're covering the initial cost, but they have to pass the cost onto you, the consumer, in order to make a profit. Because businesses will not stay in business unless they can make a profit. I mean, it's simple. I'm trying to explain this down to the level of a kindergarten kid. Because even now, some people still can't figure out what a tariff is. They listen to Trump, oh, we're making all this money. The government's making the money. The government's making the money, but you're paying for it. Out of your paycheck, out of your pocket. So the first thing in the sequence of events that we discussed over 3 weeks ago, we told you the number one thing is going to be the massive trucker layoff. And it's already starting. And it's going to be worse than we predicted. And once the truckers are laid off, the port workers become laid off. And it's a snowball effect. Let's say an average trucker.
Folks, I was a truck driver for about 30 years, off and on. And it's a very disciplined job. I compare it to like the military. That's why I call these truck drivers your frontline men. Without these frontline men, you're left without goods, helpless. The shelves are empty. The stores without any goods to sell. So without these men, which is being cut off first, it's really a bad situation that's going to turn out. It's looking like that, and it'll be very soon. Be prepared. It really doesn't look good. Really, please, be prepared.
Yes. So let's continue.
Snowball effect. Let's say an average trucker makes $100,000 a year or $150,000 a year driving 18-wheelers back and forth from the ports, the West Coast, and delivers products. Let's say that he loses his job. So how can this trucker that used to make $100,000, $150,000, how does he make his truck payment and his house payment and buy groceries and take care of his kids when now he's out of work and he doesn't know when he's going to get another load to haul? So instead of this trucker now making his house payment, going to Walmart, going to take his family to a movie or a vacation or Burger King. He's not going to do that now because he doesn't have the money, because he's out of work. And if he doesn't get a load, if he doesn't get back to work quickly, then if he doesn't make his house payments, he's on the street with his family. He loses his truck, his livelihood. And all of the people in his community that depended on his paycheck, like the restaurants, the dollar stores, Walmart, they start losing business.
Y'all, truck drivers will be on the streets. Let's continue.
Making money to spend money at their businesses. And this is a snowball effect. So then you have the restaurants in the city that are losing customers because the people that used to come into the restaurant are now unemployed. So they're laying off waiters and cooks and managers. And if it gets bad enough, the restaurant closes. And then when the restaurant closes, the suppliers that supply the restaurant food and seafood and potatoes and dry goods, now they're not getting orders from the restaurant, so they have to lay off people at the factories. You see how this snowballs one business to the next, one business to the next? It's a chain reaction that once it starts, it is hard to reverse the chain reaction. So the number one thing that we discussed is happening right now. Layoffs in the trucking industry are occurring due to the impact of tariffs, particularly those related with trade with China. The disruption to international trade, especially imports, has led to a decline in freight volumes and reduced demand for trucking services, forcing trucking companies to cut back on labor costs. Tariffs have led to a decrease in imports from China, which can account for a significant portion of U.S. trucking volume. This means less freight to transport, leading to reduced workloads for trucking companies. Lower demand. If imports decline, trucking companies experience lower demand for their services, impacting their bottom line. Layoffs. To manage the reduced demand, trucking companies are implementing layoffs and other cost-cutting measures, including furloughing drivers. The tariffs have created a climate of uncertainty in the trucking industry, with companies unsure of the long-term impact on their business and workforce. Mack Trucks and Volvo Group have both announced layoffs in their companies, citing the potential impact of tariffs on demand for their trucks. Potential further layoffs, the trade war and tariffs are expected to cause a further slowdown in the trucking activity, with some predicting a recession in the industry, leading to more layoffs. So you see, this is a snowball effect. The snowball is on top of the mountain. It is starting to roll and get bigger and bigger and bigger. And by the end of this year, it's going to be an avalanche. That once an economic trend is set in motion, it takes more energy to reverse that trend than to start a trend like this. We predicted this. People didn't believe me. They told me, Paul, trust the plan, Paul. Paul, you've got Trump derangement syndrome, Paul. You're a friggin' idiot, Paul. You don't know what you're talking about, Paul. Trust the plan. It's all going to work out, Paul. Well, how's it working for you now, bud? How's it working? And now people are starting to see prices in Target and Walmart and other stores going to the roof, skyrocketing 50%, 75%, 100%, just like we told you was going to happen. And it's going to get worse, folks. This is just the beginning. This is the tip of the iceberg, the financial iceberg that's about to collapse. The United States of America is the Titanic.
Well, folks, it looks like that if he does what he says he's going to do, then we could be without truck drivers. And the only thing I could think that he could possibly do was use some kind of AI robots in a truck to get stuff, to get it across the coast to coast. But it's still not going to help people who are destitute and without jobs. That is ridiculous to take people's jobs away. Look at this.